Welcome to Go Against podcast about we haven't quite decided yet, but we're going to keep doing it anyway. I'm Colby.
And I'm a sleeper agent that was hired to kill you. But I forgot the password and my handler died. You can call me Fee.
Jesus Christ. I like that you forgot the password and we're like, oh shit, well, I don't know. I guess I'll talk to my handler. Handler's dead. You're like, oh, I guess I'm just out here. I don't know what to do now.
I mean, if someone like accidentally says the code word, I mean, whoever I was like sleeper agented to kill is fucked because like
yeah, somebody just says like bologna sandwich and you're like,
I just go into like a trance and I'm like, must kill Ronald Reagan. Or
yeah, and no one can convince you that Ronald Reagan is dead. You're like, no, I've got to kill him.
I in my trance I go to his grave and I stand above him and I just shoot the ground and then just start crying just like it was already dead.
Oh.
God. I don't know why I was a sleeper agent this week, but who knows? I could be anything.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the world is your oyster.
Exactly. That's what I say every day when I wake up. I say
the world is my oyster and I hate oysters. It's all slimy and gross.
Then I hop out of bed and I sonic boom my cat out the window. So this week, we are gonna talk about games. Oh, dude, and did you see the fucking beautiful set for One Piece, yo?
I did see that there was one. I didn't pull it up though.
Ooh.
Is this something I need to do?
No. It's too late, Cole. We're already in the podcast.
Oh, dang. And the internet doesn't exist in the podcast.
Not in my world.
That is true. If the thing is, if Fee turns on the internet, if Fee opens up a web browser, the podcast is effectively over. Because I'll never get him back.
As joking as that sounds, like it's true. Like that's why before we start the show, I have to watch like clips because if we do it during the show, I'm just like, Kobe's talking. He's like, Fee. I'm like, oh yeah. Hey.
What? Oh, what's happening?
Where are we? What year is it?
I was going to pull up the pieces of the set because I did see a picture of the Going Merry, but I didn't see any of the other sets.
They have a picture of the Baratier.
Ooh.
And they show it from the inside and the outside. It looks way good. And they're like, this is where Zoro's going to spend most of his time at the bar. Whoa, way past cool. And
Jesus Christ.
Oh, Sonic Frontier sucks. No, I'm just kidding.
Damn, we're gonna do it again.
No, we're not doing it again. Not this week, not next week. We'll wait until the game comes out and then I'll stream it. I was gonna say we both will, but you won't. I will.
That's true. I don't stream games because I'm not cool.
Unlike me.
That's true. You're very cool.
I'm so cool.
You're actually streaming Tunic right now, which is a game that I bought. So like I had been excited about Tunic for a long time. It had been displayed at I think every PAX I'd been to for the past like 4 years. The first time that I went, like the thing is you don't really know how long a game takes to make and to like make a good one because sometimes you can hit upon an idea. Especially if it's something that's been done before, like I'm thinking like Among Us. Among Us is basically like Werewolf, right? Like that game has been made a dozen times, and then it just got very popular. But for something like Tunic, even though they're basing it on something like Legend of Zelda, right? So I guess for everybody that doesn't know, Tunic is a
top-down Zelda clone.
It's an isometric Zelda clone.
It reminds me a lot of the Game Boy remake of Legend of Zelda on the Switch.
Oh, yeah. No, I could totally see that.
Except the graphics on Tunic are like so beautiful and everything is like the music's way good too.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's like very cryptic, like on where to go and what to do. It's very like NES era game where you don't Even the manual is like written in a different language, and you just kind of have to use context clues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's honestly because you don't get any. The game is basically not in English, and it's not in Japanese either. But the concept behind it is like you've rented this game that is from a foreign country and it hasn't been translated fully. So like, like if you take a look at older NES games, there is some English in it. Like they do put like short English words in it, but it's mostly Japanese. And so for this game, it's a made up language that they have, and you can't read anything. And the game comes with like a virtual instruction manual, pages of which you find inside of the game. So you can like flip through this instruction manual and it'll be like, oh, look, there's this item with a whatever, and you're like, what does it do? And it's like,
yeah, no shit. And then it looks like someone has written in pen like next to things like that give you more clues.
Yeah, it's like it's very, very cool.
And what's it called? If you look in the map, it'll show you like secret entrances and stuff, but you gotta like look really close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of like the clues about like where to go and what to do are in that instruction manual. They're just not spelled out for you. So like if if you pick it up and you start playing it and you're like, God, I don't know where to go, you can look at the instruction manual and be like, well, I mean, because like at the beginning of the game, you're supposed to like do a particular task, and there is an instruction book page that's like, in order to accomplish this task, you have to go to these 3 places in this order, and you're like, oh, okay, I don't know what I gotta do there, but I do gotta go there, I guess.
Yeah, but you don't have to do it like in that order. As long as you do the first thing, after you do the first thing and get the sword, you basically can do any of the bosses in any order.
Mm-hmm.
But just remember that if you come up to a boss in a place where you're not ready to fight, you're gonna get your ass handed to you.
Mm-hmm.
The game is like Legend of Zelda, but it's also like Dark Souls because it has a heavy emphasis on stamina and dodging.
Yeah. Yep. So you've got like a stamina meter, and if you run your stamina meter out, then you take a lot more damage. You're easy to stagger. So like you really have to be, and your dodge roll gives you like invincibility for like 6 frames or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's not much, but if you time your dodge roll super well to be like you dodge at the beginning of an enemy's attack, then you can avoid it altogether. It's just that getting the timing of that is really tricky.
But make sure like you either dodge through the enemy or dodge away, because like once the iframes like go away, you'll get hit if you're close enough.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun too. Like the combat, although simple, and you don't have like many like weapon choices, it's still like pretty high intensity, pretty difficult, a very challenging game, honestly.
Yeah, like no spoilers, but I was fighting a boss today, and Kobe was just, like watching me, and then after I beat the boss, he was just like, "Oh, you didn't have this item? It would have made the fight a lot easier." And I was like, "No, I don't have that item."
Yeah, the thing is, I had that item, and I still took probably longer than you to beat that boss. Really? He's a really tough boss.
I feel like I was on him like for an hour.
Yeah, I like you streamed for 3 hours, and I think a pretty good portion of that was just that one boss.
No, I think I streamed for like 3.5, almost 4. But okay. I want to say he took me like 45 minutes. At least 45 minutes, because every time I fought him, I was like getting his patterns down, and then it was just a matter of oh, I got it now. Now I just gotta put it into play, and then sometimes it would just be like, okay, well I started off shitty, I'm gonna die, but then like that last one when I beat him, oh, I had 1 hit left to die, and he was already on like his last hit. I'm like, just die. I'm like, go.
Just hit him one time. Come on.
God, I almost like knocked over my fucking table. I like jumped up in excitement.
Man, yeah, like, and it's such a good feeling because like, from what I understand about Dark Souls, because I haven't, like, I've tried playing Dark Soul, like Souls type games 3 times, and they're just not for me. And it's because, like, when you lose progress, you lose a lot of progress, or at least I do. Because in Dark Souls, I'm like, I've slashed through, 5 or 6 enemies, whatever. Like now I've slashed through like a couple more, and I keep getting closer, and now I'm like at a boss, right?
Yeah.
And I die, and then that's it. I've got that all my progress is now gone. I have to just start again, and that just annoys the piss out of me. Like, dude, I'm like, what do you? I played this game for an hour, and now it's just all gone.
Now you have to start from the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. With Tunic, you're never more than like 20 minutes away from like recovering all of your progress at the highest of high ends.
Yeah, and you don't really lose anything when you die besides money.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very generous with their checkpoints. It's usually before a boss.
Mm-hmm.
They'll put a checkpoint like at the beginning of a dungeon and right before a boss. And at the even if you died in the dungeon, no matter how far you get in the dungeon, there's always like shortcuts where you can open to get to where you gotten in the dungeon. So it's very lenient, but the enemies and the bosses are like unforgiving.
Yeah.
That's so like traversing the game is easy, but like managing like enemy placement and dodges and shields is what you have is like where the crux of the game comes in.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, if you want to describe it as like Dark Souls Junior, I think that'd be like a pretty apt comparison.
Yeah, it basically is. It's like Legend of Dark Souls.
Yeah. Like a lot of people like to misuse that term. They're like, oh, this is like the Dark Souls of like roguelikes, and what they mean is this game is hard.
Yeah.
When we say like it's like Dark Souls, it's like Dark Souls in that like you have to do like stamina management and you have like the iframe dodge rolling, there's parries.
Yeah.
So like the combat sort of like, it takes inspiration from Dark Souls in that way. So like if you've played Souls games and you're familiar with them, I think you'll find yourself at home with this sort of combat system.
Yeah. I can't praise Tunic enough. Like Kobe told me about it, I don't know, last week. Mm-hmm. And he was like, "Hey, what are you going to stream?" And I was like, "I'm going to play Def Jam again." He's like, "You should play Tunic." And I was like, well, I've heard about it, but okay. So then I picked it up, and man, I'm fucking addicted.
Yeah, like, weirdly enough, it's free on Xbox Game Pass. Like it released on Xbox Game Pass. Like very weird.
I think you were like, I don't think you were, but like you're like, oh, you should buy Tunic. It's pretty cheap. I'm like, it's free on Game Pass, so I can do it that way. And I feel like you were just like, oh,
like well, I was like, this game came out like 2 months ago. Why would it be on Game Pass? That doesn't make any sense. And I looked and was like, it released on Game Pass?
Yeah.
Okay,
dude.
I guess.
That's how I like. So that's how I like consume a lot of like my new games on Game Pass, because they just day one drop on Game Pass, which negates me having to buy a game, which is honestly a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, pretty sweet, honestly. If a little jealous. A little jealous.
You could get Game Pass.
Yeah, but I'm not.
There's a lot of good games on it. I'm not trying to like shill for Xbox, but dude, they got Game Pass right.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Like PlayStation has a similar thing, but I don't know what's on it. I have no idea.
They have a lot of good stuff. I've tried it years ago, but it was just not good, because on Xbox Game Pass, what you do is you download a game to your system or your PC, and you can just play it. You don't have to do anything. But with PlayStation, you have to stream the game.
Ah, that's right. Yeah, they have basically two systems. So they have like a PlayStation Plus type program where you can download the games and play it, but then they've also got a streaming service, and it's really confusing which is which. So like you have to like watch out whenever you sign up for it. You're like, oh, this is PlayStation Now, and it's like, yeah, you wanna stream Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 to your console, and you're like, stream.
It's like cloud gaming. It sucks, because like if you got a bad connection, well, then the game will stutter, or it will just crash. So I don't know if they fixed it. But in my opinion, I would pay $10 a month if they made a PlayStation Game Pass, and it was on PC.
And it was like, yeah, that's the big one. It won't be because it's a Microsoft thing.
I know. I will pay an extra $5. You hear that, PlayStation?
$5.
You're getting my $15, like $10 for the game for the PlayStation Pass, and then an extra $5 like PC fee.
Yeah, come on, Sony. What are you afraid of? Don't you want Fee's money?
Dude, I think if they did that, they'd get a lot of money. Like
maybe. I mean, they seem to be making a lot of money already. So
I know, but I don't want a PS5. Well, I mean, I do, but just to play like Ratchet and Clank. But that's it.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I have a PlayStation 5. I've logged probably 40 hours of games on it. So that's like Cyberpunk and Miles Morales, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade.
Yeah, but I can get those games on the PC now.
Yeah, you can. Except for Miles Morales, you can't get that anywhere. But
you can get that on the PC. I think.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's still exclusive to PlayStation. I would look it up, but my keyboard died. That's why I hate wireless keyboards. Like, I'm like, oh, cool. Now I just don't have a keyboard for a while. Neat.
Yeah, you can't beat wired, which is what I have.
Well, I have a wired. God, my setup. So I have 3 computers right now. I have my work laptop, which is hooked up to my primary monitor, and my keyboard and my mouse. And then I have a switch between that and my gaming computer, which is hooked up to another monitor, and then that same primary monitor. And then I also have my streaming computer, which is where all my audio equipment is hooked up to. And then it is also hooked up to my primary monitor, but in a different way. And so it has its own keyboard and mouse combo, and I have to have those wireless so that I can like move stuff around.
Nice.
Yeah, or I mean, nice is a word for sure. But you know, it's nice in most occasions. I wish I could just use the same keyboard and mouse though.
It's nice in theory.
Yeah, and also, by the way, speaking of which, somebody was like, "Oh, this like keyboard cleaning kit looks really cool," and I looked at it and was like, "Oh yeah, maybe I should like clean my keyboard." And I looked down and was like, "Oh no, my keyboard's disgusting." Oh. Like the thought of someone who's not me coming into my like, if I was like, "Oh yeah, can you just like, you know, turn on my computer and go like scan this document?" I can imagine them looking at my keyboard and going, no, I'm not touching that.
They're just like, "Oh, why is it sticky?" Just
like, it's not sticky. It's just got a bunch of like food in it because this is where I eat lunch, right? I work from home, so I eat at my desk all the time.
I keep my keyboard under me to catch the crumbs.
Yeah, I tuck it into my shirt like a little bib.
Whenever we're eating lobster, I be sure to bring out my keyboard.
Yeah, I'm like, pardon me, I need some butter for this lobster and also a WASD keyboard if you can, please.
Exactly. I mean, a napkin? Get it away from me. Give me that damn keyboard.
Mm-hmm. Makes me go faster because all the butter dribbles down, and
it makes me break the shell faster if I hit the right keystrokes.
Yeah. It's a cheat code, honestly. When you think about it.
God, the only thing that's wrong with my keyboard is dusty.
Yeah, I mean, mine's a combo of like dust and food, and then also like, you know, just a couple of splotches of like,
jizz.
Yes, no, like coffee or, you know, like a soda or whatever, water, just like will splash on it, and then I'm like, well.
There's probably like some kitty litter under my keys, because my cat, when I'm not using my keyboard, I have it set in front of my TV, and my cat will walk across the front of my TV and sometimes on the keyboard.
Yeah. So, I mean, cats. So fun fact, one of the reasons why cats like to be all up in your business whenever you're on a computer is because they do this thing called mirroring where they want to like do what you're doing, but like do it near you. And so if you have a second keyboard that's not plugged into anything and you just put it down next to you, the cat will actually lay down on that keyboard just to be like, look, I'm using your weird plastic thing too. Doop, doop, doop. Isn't this fun? We're working together.
That's adorable.
It is adorable. Cats are great.
Now I want to get a keyboard for my cat.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey monkey, here, I'm on playing a game. Just like a little kid. Me too. Fucking
Ooh.
That's so cute. Oh man.
Yeah. It's weird. Like I had no idea because I was like, oh god, I have this one cat that just like my one cat, Caddy, he'll whenever I'm in a meeting for work, he just takes that as an opportunity of like, oh, you're talking to someone who's not me. Pardon me. And he'll jump up on my desk and scream at me.
Oh god.
And so like in a lot of my meetings, it's just like I'll unmute and be like, yeah, so, I had this idea about this, and then it's him in the background like, like, okay.
Just a grown man
I'll put him on my desk
screaming.
and I'll pet him. Yeah, that's what my cat sounds like.
What's wrong, Caddy? Just...
Why you sound like Jeff Daniels in Dumb and Dumber?
Why you sound like someone ran over your foot?
Caddy, you okay?
I swear, if my cat made that noise, I would hate him.
Yeah, he'd be like, you have to live elsewhere.
I'm like, you can't stay here anymore. I love you, but you just can't.
Yeah, this doesn't work anymore. Yeah, my cat does yell a lot. He doesn't yell like that, but he does like.
Yeah, no, I do.
He's a yelly cat.
He does a cat thing. My cat's the same way. He doesn't yell, but like when she wants attention, she'll come and she'll do the claw into you to climb onto you to get near your face, and she always does that.
Yep. My dog will do something similar where like if you pet him and then you stop and he's like, you're not done, he'll dig at your hand with his paw like, hey, what the fuck?
Who said you were finished?
To be like, stop it. And he's like, okay, fine.
You're gonna pet for longer.
I pet you for 5 full minutes, and he's like, not enough. Not enough. Never enough.
5 more. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's neat. I want to try that with my cat. But what were we talking about? Games?
Yeah, we were talking about Tunic.
Yeah, but we're already done with Tunic. I don't want to.
And then we were talking about Xbox Game Pass and stuff.
Yeah, Xbox Game Pass and PlayStation. But PlayStation, put your games on PC, but on a Game Pass, and you'll get my $15.
Speaking of which, actually, I'm one of the reasons why I started playing Tunic was because we went out of town for a few days to a very small town in West Texas. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to bring my Steam Deck and we'll see how it performs. And if you don't know, Steam Deck is basically like, imagine a Switch, but for PC.
Yeah.
And that's it. So I downloaded Tunic and I started playing it. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, this console is basic. Like this game is what this console is designed around. Because it's perfect, right? You have a joystick. You have all the buttons. The button layout is great. It also has like 2 trackpads on the sides, so like it has
mouse.
Yes, it can be. Yeah. So one of the things that happened while I was out of town, first night, by the way, I'm playing Tunic and I drop my Steam Deck and I pick it up and the thumbstick has mostly popped out, and I was like, oh, that doesn't look good, and so like I pushed it back in. But it like didn't move anymore, and I was like, well, I gotta go fix that whenever I get home. And in Tunic, whenever you like open up the instruction manual we were talking about, you can use the right thumbstick to like move through pages and like move the page up and down. And so because it was stuck, every time I opened the instruction manual, it was just like laid flat and I couldn't see anything. I was like, God, how do I get this up? Because I don't have a joystick.
Yeah.
But because they had like the trackpads as well, I was able to like use the other trackpad to like maneuver it around and get it to like stand back up. And I was like, oh, okay. So like one of the nice things is even if one of the things breaks, you have like other button inputs to do the same thing.
Oh,
and whenever I got it back, like I had a number one screwdriver. I took it apart and I just had to like reseat the joystick and it was fine. Put it back together and it all works.
And you could Bluetooth control it to it. So
yeah. If I wanted to, I could Bluetooth. Like I Bluetooth my headphones to it. So yeah, you can also do a keyboard if you want, a mouse, whatever you want. Yeah, you can Bluetooth
my
it.
my Xbox Pro controller.
Mm-hmm.
Emphasis on pro because I'm pro. I'm
a pro esport game god.
Yeah. I'm not gonna tell you what team I'm on or what like moniker I go under. I don't want y'all all up in my biz. But I just want you to know that I'm a pro, and all the scouts are looking for me. But
but they can't have me. I'm loyal to my team that I can't tell you about.
Exactly. I'm thinking about getting a Steam Deck. The middle one, the $5.99 one. I think
that's the one I have.
Mostly because I want to turn to a retro game console with Steam fucking on it as well.
Yeah, I mean it's really great for that. I think the only bad thing about it is the battery life is in most cases it's longer than a Switch, but not by super a lot. So like I think playing Tunic, I was able to play for about 5 hours before it got down to like 10% battery from full.
Can you play while charging?
Yeah.
Because I'm mostly probably just going to play it in bed, or I'll play it at work when I work night shifts.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's great for that. Like it, and it's super, super comfortable in your hand. It's really hefty. It is like a pretty heavy piece of technology, but like it feels nice to hold. So yeah, it's great.
Well, yeah, but I mean, mostly, I don't even play my Switch handheld. I play, oh god, I hear a cat.
Yeah, I thought so.
I'll probably just Bluetooth my controller to it. That's how I play with the Switch, which I haven't played since I played Kirby. I don't know if that's good or not. I find
fair enough.
I find it hard to like play my Switch anymore. There's good games on it, but there's like I could get most of the same games on my fucking PC, and I'd rather play on my PC.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, you buy a Nintendo console to play Nintendo games, basically. For a while there, I mean, now that the Steam Deck is out, this isn't the case anymore, for the most part. But for a while there, like, that was the only way that you could get kind of like a AAA experience on the go, was with a Switch. And now you have the Steam Deck, so that's not the case, but it's still like not as popular as the Switch, and you also can't like dock the Steam Deck and turn it into a home game console. So I mean, like, the Switch still has some stuff on top of it.
I mean, if you have a PC, I mean, why dock it?
Yeah. I mean, if you don't have a PC, that would be it.
Yeah.
Like,
but
I don't know. There may be a Steam Deck dock. I would have to look.
I mean, I'm sure someone's done it, but to be fair, like, in my case, I don't. It's not a big deal that I'm not playing the Switch that much because I didn't buy it. Someone gave it to me, so it's not.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like I bought it and now I'm wasted money. So and only the games that I've bought for it, but that's not a big deal. That's neither here nor there. The games I bought for it, every once in a while I'll open it, but like, if you think about it, like, Switch doesn't have that many good games. Like
that's where I've got to argue with you, because like the reason why you buy a Nintendo console is for Nintendo's games. So like for the Switch, you have Breath of the Wild, you have Super Mario Odyssey. Hold. Thinking of another game. Hold on.
Okay. All right.
You have Age of Calamity.
Did you have to bring up a Google?
I didn't. I was just like, I feel like there was another Zelda game, and there was another Zelda game. It was Age of Calamity.
I haven't played Breath of the Wild, but I do have Legend of Zelda Hyrule Warriors on it.
Yeah.
And I actually bought that game from Wish.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it works just fine.
That's funny. I wonder if it's a bootleg. It's got to be, right?
I think it's like an EU game because, or they got it from like the EU because like the case looks like it was from Europe and because because it says Peggy instead of like
yeah. Okay. Now I've pulled up the list. I've reminded myself. I'm a little sluggish because like my wife is out of town. And so I ate a meal simple for dinner, and I've just been eating brownies nonstop. So like my brain is full of sugar right now. Animal Crossing, any of the Pokemon games that have come out on it, the Kirby game, the Metroid game, Metroid Dread, Smash Brothers Ultimate. Metroid Dread is awesome.
I have Smash Bros. I love Smash Bros.
Yeah, Smash Bros. Ultimate, Luigi's Mansion 3. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, if you care.
I have that game.
It's like the 48th time it's been released. And Mario Party Superstars. That's the killer Mario Party game for sure.
Yeah. But they only have 4 boards?
Superstars has like a bunch of them. I don't know how many they have actually.
Wait, that's the one where you play all the old Mario Party boards and games, right? I actually want that game, but then I keep thinking, I'm like, oh, I want that game, but then, like, who would I play with?
Yeah, I mean, you got to play. I feel like this is the perfect like Discord game, right? This is like, okay, I've got 4 people together. We're gonna play on Discord, and then we're just gonna play, we're gonna play this, Mario Party Superstars, together and just talk shit.
Yeah, that actually is perfect, but other than that, like, I don't have that game. I have Mario Kart, Smash Bros. I wasn't interested in fucking Sword and Shield. I have Hyrule Warriors. I haven't played Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild is like, I think it's it's either my favorite game or my second favorite game.
Yeah, I know, you're always going on and on about it. Animal Crossing is really good, but like for some people, or a lot of people, I guess, it's one of those games where you just play like every day and just do your tasks. But man, like it's kind of just like a nothing game, I guess.
Damn.
Sorry.
I'm fucking tell him you said that.
Tell Tom Nook I said that. But
I will.
But honestly, like, it just, you do what? Like, I can go to my Animal Crossing now. Like, I have a bunch of shooting stars that I found that I'm not doing anything with, and I made my rooms the way I wanted to, and now I just go catch bugs when there's updates, or go to the shop and maybe find something I don't have.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they've released a few content updates. So like, there's a cafe you can go to now. There's like new items and like new themes and other stuff that you can do, and they update it for the seasons as well, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, ultimately there isn't a point to Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Which is, for me personally, I can't play a game like that for too long.
Yeah,
so
me neither.
So like Minecraft I can play because they're like, even though there isn't a point, because there's a bunch of content to do, and you're the one that's like making the game almost. Whereas, because it feels like in Minecraft you can like build and do a bunch of different stuff, and there's not really a limit on what you can do. It's sort of like limitless. But in something like Animal Crossing, it's like, put down the chair. You can turn it one of 3 ways. And it's like, okay, well, fine, whatever.
Then you can sit on it and look at the camera. Whoa.
Neat. Minecraft feels a little different though. And I'm having a hard time articulating why, because like, in contrast, Minecraft doesn't have chairs. So, like, I can't make a chair, you know what I mean?
So here's the difference in Minecraft, and these are Minecraft I'm not a big fan of, but I thought about getting it just so I could play with y'all on Discord. But you can explore dungeons and in caves and just fucking mine down jungles and stuff, and then you have like some combat, and then like there's like a meta where armor and weapons and stuff. Not to mention, just you can build the type of house that you want, or building, or you want to be underground, that's fine, or you want to be in the air, that's also fine. Whereas in Animal Crossing, you are given a choice of, like, the location you want to put on the island, and the house basically looks the same for everybody.
Yeah.
Except the inside, which that's where you differentiate, because you can get, like, very decorative with the things you could get in Animal Crossing, whereas in Minecraft, I mean, everything looks a certain way, or you can mod in skins for things. So
yeah, I mean, to be fair, you can also like in Animal Crossing, you can design like the outside of the house. It's just like not, I don't know, it's not as like customizable as all that. And Minecraft also like continues to update all the time. So like they just came out with a new update that has like this place called the Deep Dark in it. You can find this like dark city with this new overpowered enemy that can kill you instantly. Like it's kind of cool. It's like and they keep just adding stuff to it. So they added frogs, which are horrifying, and I hate frogs, but whatever. And they've got like, when the game came out, it was basically creative, and then they added a survival aspect to it, and then they added like things like, I don't know, you could do like do redstone, you could like make contraptions, you could make whatever, like mob spawners and stuff. Like you could get technical with it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and you can mod levels for like game types, like what was it? Fucking, what's that movie that
I'm waiting. What's that movie?
Well, with the Katniss Evergreen.
Oh, you're talking about Hunger Games.
Hunger Games, yeah. You can play that on fucking on Minecraft, and like you could play basically a Fortnite style battle royale. There's just a lot of things you can do in Minecraft, whereas Animal Crossing is, hey, come to the island and vibe, and that's it.
Yeah, Minecraft is a lot of like you make the stuff yourself, and also like communities can make stuff. So like you can go to a server to participate in like mini games. You can like have a build off with someone. You could spend fucking 40 years making New York City in Minecraft. Like, right? Like you can do basically anything, but Animal Crossing is like, I did my island and that's it. I have the island. I've done it.
I put Godzilla on the beach. Just
that's like you do.
I know someone built Middle Earth in Minecraft a long time ago.
Yeah.
But God damn, like, I know it wasn't just one guy. It was like a little team, like 5 people probably.
Yeah, and you have like tools that you can like that you use to do stuff like that, where it's like, hey, I want to convert this big like 100 block by 100 block area into like a flat area that's all stone, and then I want to put up a wall that's this size or whatever. Like there's a lot of tools that you can do to accomplish things like that, but getting the details down and then doing that over and over and over again forever is like, oh God, the gall that you must have.
The audacity. I can't, I don't know. If I had friends to play with, like the new Minecraft that you made, I'd play it with y'all, but I don't know if I can by myself. Same with Animal Crossing, but like those two are like vastly different games, I guess. Yeah. But I don't know, man. I have a weird taste in games. Like sometimes a game that I don't think I'll like really catches me and I'll be into it. Or sometimes like I like AAA games, or I'll find a like really trashy game that I like playing. I find myself mostly going back to games that I liked in the past and playing them again just over and over and ad nauseum. Because there's just nothing I want to play like that's current.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like it could just be that like the time in which you played that was a time of like little responsibility and little consequences, and you know, you weren't aware of like how big and horrible the world is, and so you're like less jaded. You know, you're not coming home from a fucking 12-hour shift and you're like, oh well, I've only got 2 hours, and then like I've got to do, I have to pay my bills and do my taxes and whatever adults have to do. Like, I imagine that the weight of like responsibility makes playing video games, especially whenever your time is so sort of like chunked out, less enjoyable. And especially like, now we have options. Whenever you and I were playing video games, whenever we were kids, we didn't have like smartphones. So you couldn't just like scroll videos on TikTok for an hour on accident. You couldn't just like watch a YouTube video and you couldn't even like open a streaming service and watch a show that you wanted to. If the show was on, you could watch it and then it would stop being on, and that was it. You had no recourse.
Like, you basically just said the intro to my YouTube video that I just made.
Nice.
and like, that's the sentiment I'm trying to get across. But yeah, that's how it was back then. If you wanted to watch a show, you had to flip over to the TV Guide channel, find out the time, or hear it on the channel you want to watch it, and be sure that you're like, no one's on the TV, and you're like, I'm gonna watch this show when it starts. Because the fun thing about watching a show that you haven't seen and you want to like catch it, you want to hear what the intro is, because then that sets up what you're going to think about the show. Because in my opinion, the intro is like a big deal. Like, I remember when SpongeBob first came out, I missed the intro, and I saw the episode, and I'm like, well, what's the intro like? Like, is this like the energy of the intro, or? I think the energy of the intro is like sets you up for what the show's going to be, especially if you haven't seen a show. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, the other interesting thing now, with having things on Netflix and Hulu and stuff like that, is that most of those platforms will skip the intro and they'll skip the outro as well.
Yes, I'm not a fan.
So they're like, oh, you want to like watch another thing? Like, here, do that. And like, my least favorite thing is that both Netflix and Hulu will sometimes do this. If they have like a post outro, like small scene or like a funny bit or whatever, like, these things are not aware of it, and so they're like, oh, the outro is playing. Well, on to the next one. And you're like, no, go back. How do I open up the previous episode and just go to the last 24 seconds? And then you go there, and it's like, oh, the outro's playing. Better switch to the next thing. You're like, fucking, will you stop it? I don't know how to make you stop.
That's why I don't really watch Netflix anymore. But Hulu, on the other hand, it gives you the option. It'll be like, watch the credits, and then it'll give it in the corner. You can hit the next episode, so that way if you know that there's going to be something after the credits, and anime is notorious for doing that.
Oh, for sure.
So that's another reason why, like, I don't like watching anime on Netflix, because you want to see after the credits, and it's just like, oh, well, we're skipping to the next episode, fuck you, watch it on YouTube. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for wasting your time, Mr. Netflix.
Oh, man. Let me give you an extra $5 for another screen. Fuck.
Golly, man. The thing is, a lot of people are like, oh, Netflix is going down the tubes because they're doing this and they're doing, and like,
no, they're not.
Netflix is like a multi-billion-dollar company. They're fine right now.
Yeah.
And they're not going to care if you're like, well, I'm going to stop watching stuff if I can't use my parents' account. It's like, well, you weren't paying in the first place. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you weren't really invested at that point.
Yeah, and even then, like, if their money goes down, they'll eventually change. Like, Netflix is not a dumb company. They got to where they are by investing in things like shows that are good that people want to watch, and like making their performance good, and having like suggesting things to you that you may want to watch, even if those things are fucking weird, and those suggestions are very bad sometimes. Yeah, like,
and the interface is bad.
And the interface is pretty bad too. Yeah. So like,
these are all negatives, but I mean,
these are all, but again, you're still paying for it.
Yeah.
Somebody's still paying for it. So I don't know. I'm not ready to throw in the towel on Netflix yet. I feel like if we give them a couple of years, they'll course correct and be like, we're now the home of fucking something. Like we're now the home of all the home improvement shows. That's all Netflix is, home improvement shows, and be like, oh, okay.
Well, right now they got Seinfeld and Friends, I think.
Yeah, they may have Friends.
But a show that
I know they lost The Office.
Yeah, they lost The Office. That's on Peacock now.
Fucking stupid. I hate Peter Pan. No, I hate the fact that all these places just keep being like, we're gonna make our own streaming service, and it's just like,
why?
Like Starz has their own, and Showtime has their own, and HBO and Peacock now, and fucking, it's always like, oh, here's the, like, yeah, you want to watch this old show? Like, you want to watch Big Bad Beetleborgs? Yeah, you got to download, like, what, Christ's streaming service. That's the one that you got, and you got to pay $5 to your local parish, and then they'll give you a password to Christ's streaming service. Like,
and you got to do 3 Hail Marys and like 1 Our Father, and then the priest will give you the secret handshake with the code in his hand. he'll give you a rosary.
He'll give you the rosary, and you have to like scan. It's got a QR code on it. You got to scan it.
And it's only good for 1. You can't share it with your friends. That's so stupid. Like, speaking of Big Bad Beetleborgs, now I kind of want to watch it, but what I'd probably do is I'll just go to YouTube and buy it on YouTube, buy the seasons for like $10 a pop, and then just have it forever.
Yeah, it's an interesting option that now, like, there is that, so where you can just be like, oh, I want to watch Batman the Animated Series. I can just buy 1 full season, 12 episodes for $10, and you can do that for all, whatever it is, 6 seasons.
Yeah.
It's an interesting option. The things that I don't like about that are, you don't actually own those videos. You own a license to watch those videos. And so if YouTube ever decides to be like, yeah, we're going to stop the service entirely, it's in your contract that's fine. So that's it. You've paid them the money, and now it's gone.
Look, I know it's a lot of gambling on like them not doing that, but rather than signing up for another service to just watch a show, to cancel it is way easier to just buy it, and then maybe some years down the line they take it off. Because like if I sign up for a service, I'll forget that I have the service, and then now it's like a $5 fee that I've been paying for like 8 months, and I'm just like, well, that's $40 I'll never get back. And the funniest thing that I've ever seen as far as like having a service and then forgetting that it exists is, I was in the office, right? Like, so back whenever I worked in an office, back before COVID. Hell yeah.
I was working, and then one of my coworkers stands up and he's like, guys, everyone, like, you know, we're in a room of engineers. It's toward the end of the day. There's only like 5 or 6 of us left. It's like 5:30. And he's like, guys, I just got the reminder. Everyone uninstall this app and cancel your credit card payment. Like, remove your credit card from the app. I just got it done. And I was like, what are you guys talking about? And he was like, oh, right. So like, you know, all of them would go out drinking together pretty frequently. Like, they would go out to happy hours after work, or, you know, just whatever bar. And there was an app that a lot of the bars in our town was using to do like payments and stuff, and you could earn free drinks on it. And so they were like, yeah, like, it's 1 month free, and then every week you get like a drink coupon that you can show to any bar, and they'll give you like a free whiskey sour or whatever it is, right? And so that was like their promo thing to like get this app off the ground. But in order to do that, you had to like sign up and put in your credit card. And so what someone had done the first night that they were like, oh, there's this new app, you know what, we should all try it and get these free drinks. They were like, I'm going to set a calendar reminder exactly for 1 month from today, and then we're all going to cancel. And sure enough, they sat next to each other for 10 minutes and were like, all right, so on this screen, like, just removing the credit cards enough? I don't need to like save or like update my address. I'm going to update my billing address just in case they try to like do something shady. And I was like, wow, this is like a coordinated, concerted effort to make sure that this like small time developer gets zero money from these people.
Yeah, fuck that guy and him trying to make an app for people to have free drinks. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
But That's kind of how like apps and free like things work. So I mean, if it's there, use it.
Yeah, I mean, I paid whenever I was between jobs. I was like, you know what? I have 2 months off. During this time off, I'm going to watch all of Dragon Ball Super. I'm just going to catch up on Dragon Ball Super and I'm going to play video games, and that's going to be it. And I did that. I used Funimation's streaming service and I watched all of Dragon Ball Super. And then I gave you my login, and then I forgot about it. Yeah. And so like 6 months later, my wife was like, are you still watching anything on this Funimation app? And I went, no. And they were like, well, we're still paying for it. And I went, oh, yeah, I can cancel. Yeah, I can cancel that, I guess. Sorry.
And then I was like, did you cancel Funimation? You're like, oh.
Yeah. You were like, did you cancel Funimation? I was like, yeah. Were you still watching?
Yeah.
Yeah. But now they're the same thing, so that's good. Crunchyroll and Funimation are merged.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but I'm not paying for it, and you are.
Yeah, correct. But at the very least, like, we do actively watch Crunchyroll, and like we were watching all of Attack on Titan. We were keeping up with My Hero Academia for a while. But yeah.
No, dude, I watch Crunchyroll like every goddamn day. Like, I just watched the Rising of Shield Hero Season 2 episode.
Is it good?
Oh, it's so good! Only, I think, 2 more episodes until the season's over.
Ooh.
I'm watching, like, every anime that's came out this season. The Rising of Shield Hero, I watched Dress Up Darling. I watched
Spy Family.
Yeah, Spy Family, Miss Nagatoro. What's it called? Romance After World Domination. Fucking Aharen-san. Which is so good. I love it. One Piece. I'm fucking. Ooh, you know, if you're a one the listener of the show, you know how me and Colby are with fucking One Piece.
Mm-hmm. And we're at a part where like things are super exciting for the anime because shit is kicking off now.
We're getting into Roof Piece.
Yeah, it's Roof Piece time, baby. And also, like, the manga now, we just got news that the manga is going on a break for a month. So that's like, now the anime is more important than ever.
Yeah, no shit.
You know, like, there's going to be no One Piece for a month. Like, obviously, people are going to be watching the anime now.
Yeah. That's like, I watch more anime than I do anything else. But,
yeah.
On Netflix, they're gonna put in MasterChef because I'm not watching anime, I'm watching cooking shows. So
yeah,
like they're not MasterChef.
You mean Iron Chef? The new
Iron Chef. Yes. Let's talk about that here in just a second. But I want to talk about an experience I had about unsubscribing. Right.
Ooh. Okay.
So I think I told you about it, but. A couple of months ago, maybe earlier this year, like January, February, I remember I told you that FYE had me subscribed to them and I didn't know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, okay, so here's the story. I've said it a few times before, but my work will send me to New Orleans for hurricane relief. Yeah. And the first time I went, during downtime, I went to a mall that was open, and they had an FYE in it. And I was like, well, I have all this money, I'm gonna go shopping. So I bought some stuff from FYE, and the guy's like, oh, well, do you want to join the FYE membership? And I was like, no, I'm not from here. I'm actually from I'm from Texas, and there's not an FYE.
Yeah, you're like, there was an FYE in our mall and it's gone. Yeah, it's gone that's now.
It. I'm like, so no, there's not one near me. And then like he looks it up and he's like, oh, well, there's one in Austin. I'm like, I am not going to drive 4 hours, have a membership only to have to drive 4 hours away to maybe shop in your store.
Did you look this man in the eye and just whisper at him, are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah. I was like, no. No, so I was just like, nah, man, I'm cool. And then I guess he took it upon himself to subscribe me to the membership.
Oh, he had a quota to fill.
Yeah, dude, no shit. So, unbeknownst to me, for a year, 12 months, I was paying $10 a month to a thing I did not know I had until, I don't know, I just happened to be in my bank account. And I was just like looking through like, what I was paying. And I was like, FYE? I was like, $10? I was like, wait a minute. And then like I went to my bank account and I typed in FYE, and sure enough, it was like a monthly subscription. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I called them. Ooh, I was irate, dude. I was, I called them, and finally I got to a person after like holding for a while, and they were like, hey, how can I help you? And I'm like, I gave them my name and I gave them my information. They were like, okay, well, what can I do for you today? I was like, you need to unsubscribe me right now from your fucking membership. And she was like, okay, well, we can do that. And I'm like, and you need to reimburse me for all this time that I've been in a membership. And she's like, well, I can't do that. I'm like, listen. And I tell her the story, and she's like, oh. And she's like, yeah, she's like, well, I mean, and then she tells me there's an FYE in Austin after I tell her there's not one in my town.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, no, I'm like, no, I do not want to shop online. I do not want to drive 4 hours. I'm like, you're going to reimburse me. And she's like, whoa, the most I could do is like 3 months. I'm like, you need to get me to someone right now, because that is like $100, like $120 to be exact. Like,
$120 that you just didn't know.
Yeah, that I did not know. So like, I was on the phone for like 30 minutes until I got with someone who they were like, and I had to keep telling them, and they kept telling me no, and I kept telling them yes. And I was like,
yes, actually.
I was like, no. I'm like, you're gonna give me my money back. So it would go up every once in a while. Like, she was like, well, I could do like 6 months. I'm like, that is only half. I'm like, no, you need to give me more. And then it was like, 8 months, and then like 10 months. I'm like, you're already at 10. Why not do the whole thing?
Just do 12.
Yeah, I'm like,
come on.
I'm like, you're gonna give it to me, until finally, like, we got to a point where she's like, okay, well, we reimbursed you all the money. You should see it within a week or so. I'm like, okay, if I don't, I'm gonna call you back. I'm like, I'm like, I know this line's recorded. I'm like, y'all need to watch y'all's people, because they just subscribed me to something I told the person no to, and I got stuck with this $120 bill a fucking year later that I didn't know that I had. And like, now y'all gave me trouble trying to unsubscribe to a thing I didn't subscribe to in the first place. And she was like, oh, okay. And like, I know it wasn't her fault, but man, I was like, my fucking blood was boiling. Like, I didn't care who it was. For all intents and purposes, she owned FYE. And I was like telling her.
Yeah, you're like, pardon me, Miss FYE. I know that you used my $100 to eat a steak dinner, you fucking asshole.
You fucking pompous clod.
It's like, I probably make less than you do in this call center, please, sir.
No, I want my money. Ooh, that's like, Cole, you know me. I don't like confrontation, especially that over the phone. I know that it's not their job, but I was so mad, and I know they could just give me my money back. I know there are people out there that do call, and they didn't like their subscription, so they want their money back. But like, this wasn't the case. Like, I was taken for a fool. Like, if I didn't check my bank that day, who knows how long I would have kept paying for it.
Yeah, for real. And like, there's always kind of a balance there between people like you that are like, oh, I didn't know I was paying for this. I didn't consent to ever pay for this.
Yeah.
You need to give me my money back. And the people that like are effectively like, they went into McDonald's, they ordered a burger, and then they got to the last bite and they went, you didn't put any pickles on this. I want my money back. And you're like, you know what you're doing, you fucking asshole.
Hey,
so like, there's always kind of like striking the balance in between. And I feel like people that are on the phone. So, okay, now that we're telling these stories, I have to tell you about what's been happening with this air conditioner.
Oh my God.
So, So whenever my wife and I moved out of our house, there were some service industry people that some friends of ours knew that were like moving into Austin. And we were like, well, rent's super high. We're moving out of this house and we don't need to sell this house in order to purchase like our new house because my parents died, right? And I have money from them. So I was like, all right, so yeah, we don't need to do that. This would be like a nice thing to do. So we kept our old house. They started living there and they pay rent. We don't make any money off of it. In fact, we lose money on it a little bit, not too much, but a little bit. Mm-hmm. And so they send us a message toward the beginning of May. In fact, I'm going to make sure that like I'm getting this right. So they send us this message toward the beginning of May. That's like, hey, the air conditioner doesn't work. And you know, we were obviously like, oh, that's not good because we had it replaced before. We'd had like people have come out and worked on it, and they were like, oh yeah, old air conditioner. You know the starter kit was bad, so they replaced it, right? So this guy comes out. We go through our home warranty. Home warranty is like the first line of defense. We call them to say like, hey, something is wrong with the house, and then they will reply and be like, oh yeah, you pay us $75, we'll send a guy out there, he'll fix it for you, and if there's like any additional charges or like you need to repair whatever, then like yeah, it's covered, right? Like up to a certain amount. For instance, our microwave at our house like broke. We had some guy that came by and was like, "Hey, I'm going to take a look at this." And then he finished looking at it and he goes, "Okay, the touch panel's bad." We get an email a couple of days later from the home warranty that was like, "Hey, we can't order any touchpad, so you can just get a free microwave." And we were like, "Oh, okay, cool." So yeah, that's why we go through the home warranty. Like they can offer you stuff like that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, beginning of May, they file this, like we get the service request gone. We say like, "Hey, go check out the air conditioner." The guy gets there and he says, "Well, it's summer in Texas. What do you expect?" And then he leaves. He doesn't like. He looks at the air conditioners like there's nothing wrong with it. So it's summer in Texas. You know, it's gonna be hard to keep up with the heat. Anyway, bye. And then he just leaves. And I went, okay, motherfucker. Like that's not like this air conditioner was working and now it is not working. So I filed a recall. 10 days later, he shows back up and he's like, oh. Actually, yeah, the starter kit on this is dead and the compressor is bad. So the compressor has pulled too much current and it's killed the starter kit. And we'll like, I'll flush out these lines. And then, yeah, we'll just get the compressor replaced. I was like, okay, great. So the next week he replaces the compressor. And the people that live in our house send me like a text and they're like, hey, does he have any more work to do? Because the air conditioner is still not working. And I was like, motherfucker, replace the compressor in it and it's still not working? Okay. So I file another request. I'm like, hey, go look at this. So they send a different company, right?
Yeah.
They send a different company out. That company looks and goes, oh, yeah, this compressor is bad and it needs to be replaced.
Oh.
The compressor that they just installed is a bad compressor.
What?
And so, yeah, I was like, oh, cool, neat. And so we were like, at this point, we're like, okay, fine. This second company will just take over. It's okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I get a notification that the first company is coming back out to the house. And I was like,
no,
why are you coming back out? And they were like, you know, they came out and I was like, all right, you know, let's just let them do whatever. They'll find out the compressor is bad and then they'll replace some more stuff. It's fine. Well, then I get an email that was like, hey, you know, call the home warranty company. And the home warranty company is like, hey, yeah, the technician went out and he says that there was like tampering done with the air conditioner. So he can't like under Section D of your contract, if there's any tampering with like a device, then we're not covering any of the repairs for it. And I went,
what?
Sorry, what? Do you think that my tenants like took apart the fucking air conditioner? And they were like, well, that's what it says in this report. And I said, again, this is the same guy who like first time was like, oh yeah, this is It's just summer in Texas. But like, I'm like, okay, you're just mad that I'm making you come out here and do extra work. So like, you're just trying to get out of it, you fucking asshole. You're lying about this. By the way, this is now a month later.
Yeah.
So this house has been without air conditioning for a month.
Jesus.
And so, I'm trying my best to like get someone out there to like fix this air conditioner. We had another company come out to do a quote, and they were like, yeah, we can install a new one for $16,000. And I went, oh God, we really have to do this through the home warranty company, because otherwise I'm gonna have to pay like the most amount of money I have to buy a new fucking car for a house that I'm intending to sell at some point. Jesus.
Yeah.
So at this point, I realize, wait a second, that second company came out and said that the compressor was bad. They must not have reassembled the air conditioner. Like, that has to have been what happened, right?
No
they came
way.
out, they said like, oh, the compressor's bad. I'm not going to put it back together because this whole shit's broken. So why would I put it back together? So I called back into the home warranty company, and I kid you not, 5 times in a row I called them and I go, here's the situation. This company comes out. This company does this repair. This second company comes out. They says that repair is bad. The first company comes back out and says that things have been tampered with. So, like, I need something to be done. And they were like, every time they're like, okay, hold on. Let me just take a look at your account. I'm like, all right. And they put me on hold. And then 5 minutes later, they come back and they go, yeah, so the diagnosis from the first company says that there was tampering on it. And I go, I know. I just told you. That.
I told you what happened in order of like what happened. I told you the events.
And they go, oh, yeah, hold on. Let me put you on hold again. I'm like, okay. And so this, no joke, this happens 5 times. The exact same thing where I've explained things. They come back, they say tampering. I say no tampering. They say, hold on. And then they come back and then they try to solve the problem, right? At this point, we're now like bringing, like, my wife tweeted about it at them publicly to shame them into doing something. And so now the home warranty company is like, oh, we are so sorry. Things are going crazy. I'm going to like try to call some people and like, we're going to try to get that second company to just like replace everything for you. And like, I called that second company and they were like, you know, he's this like good old Texas boy. And he's like, well, I don't like to talk bad about other air conditioning companies, but the work that they put out is just not that great. And they always try to get out of their work, try to make someone else pay for it. Now, if I had done the work and put in that compressor and it turned out to be bad, you just eat that cost because that's the right thing to do. I only have a company of 3 people, and that company that did this job for you, they got hundreds of people. So they got money to replace that whole thing for you, but they're just not doing it. And that's a shame.
Man, that is just no good.
It's just sad. It's sad the way that things are today. I'm like, can you fucking help me fix my air conditioner or what, dude?
Can you just fix it first and lecture me after? Just
so like at this point, like that's all the stuff that's happening with the home warranty, and the people that live there are like, we're so fucking hot. We're afraid that our pets are gonna die. Can you do something? And we were like, here's money to go buy some wall units. Like, I don't know. Like, hopefully you can return them for full price whenever this is done. Also, we can't like charge you to live here for this month because it's unlivable in this house. So yeah, we're just like, we're trying our best. Like I'm on the phone with them every day to do this. And like, the thing is, I can't, like, I don't have any recourse.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, oh, we sent this up to the claims department. We sent it to this department. Like, and then I call like air conditioner company 1, and they're like, yeah, well, you know, we filed everything. We can't go back out until the home warranty company tells us to go back out. And then the company 2 is like, well, I can't go back out until the home warranty company tells me to go back out. But if you want me to like do the work, I can charge you outside of the home warranty company and maybe get you a good deal on it, but like you got to call me back and like ask me for that. And like,
oh no,
it's a huge clusterfuck. I like while we were out in the small town in West Texas, I'm sitting there like in a I'm sitting in a rocking chair with my like iced coffee from the one coffee shop in this town of 400 people, sitting in the shade, rocking back and forth, listening to the birds and hearing the mesquite trees rustle behind me. And there's just some man named Bradley in India who's like, "Oh, sir, yeah, I'm taking a look at your account and I can't do anything because of the tampering." And I'm like, "Motherfucker, are you listening to me?
Just
Please."
Fucking, you're just sitting there like a fucking debutante trying to argue with these people.
Yeah, like I've got a big fan. I'm like, "Oh, my stars. I'm gonna pass out from heat right now."
I have the vapors, and you're not helping. This is on you. Just fucking.
By the way, I know you want to talk about Iron Chef.
I do.
And this is how I want to get into it.
Okay, how?
Because I pulled up the trailer for Iron Chef.
I know, I saw it earlier.
So I pulled up the trailer and I scrolled down on the YouTube comments, which is like never a good idea.
No, yeah. No.
Oh no! So I'm gonna read you the.
Don't wait.
I'm gonna read you this comment.
Wait, before you do, don't tell me it's about the new female hostess with that's the side of fucking Adam or whatever his name is. Don't tell me it's about her because she looked real cool.
She is cool. She does look real cool, but it's not about her.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
This comment says, "I was already hyped when I saw the trio hosting this show, but the judges just put me over the top. Andrew Zimmer, Wolfgang Puck, Danny Trejo, and the GOAT Morimoto. I can't handle how hyped I am for this. Man, my childhood watching all these guys is flooding back."
Hell yeah.
And that was a comment from a woman that is in short shorts, spreading her legs, not with a top and holding her nipples, and her username is Joni fuck me check my profile 18 plus. So if you want to fuck Joni and watch the new Iron Chef, you totally can.
Now I can watch good food be made and be horny. Just what the fuck? I feel like that's a bot account, but I just can't. Like
with a comment that well thought out, it's whoever runs that bot account that made this, and they forgot to switch to their regular account. Like that's for sure what it is. Yeah, this is like Dale Summers, like he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna comment on this," and he goes, fuck, I commented as Joni. Fuck it, whatever, who cares?
Well, maybe she thought or I guess they thought a lot of people would watch it, so he's like, it's a win-win, really. They're gonna see my comment, and they're gonna like it, and they're gonna be morbidly curious and go to my fucking account.
Yeah, it's for me, it's like one of the top 3 comments, so that's great.
That's awesome. Oh my God, I fucking can't. But like, that comment's not wrong, though. Like,
no, the thing is, the comment is super right. That was the thing that stuck out to me, because I was scrolling down and I saw the 18 plus emoji thing, and I was like, oh, this is like a bot account. And then I read the comment and was like, no, this is all right. Like, this is a person that has the right opinion, but I don't want to agree with Joni fuck me check my profile. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels like I'm on the wrong side of history.
Yeah, like, oh no. But like, you're right, they're not wrong. Fucking so many nights, like when I was a kid, just after fucking X-Play, watching Iron Chef, just when it starts off with what's his name, just biting the bell pepper and regretting his life, and then introducing Iron Chef, fucking Iron Chef, hell yeah, dude. Man. Fuck yeah.
I mean, Iron Chef America was like, I watched Iron Chef America while it was on, like for the first few seasons. It got to the point where I was like, blah, whatever. Also, they have fucking Lose Master Bobby Flay. I don't know why they let that man on shows anymore. In every show that he does, he loses, and he's like, they're like, hey, here's this exotic ingredient. He's like, great, I'm going to make a burrito out of it. And you're like, fucking think of anything else. He's like, I'm going to bring my Southwest American flavors to this. I'm going to make it a burrito. I'm going to add fucking chipotle powder to it. And you're like, fucking stop, dude. Like, anything. Do you know how to make a clam chowder? Yeah. Maybe. Then he's like, yeah, I can make you a clam chowder. But, I am going to be cutting up some peppers and throwing in some jalapenos and really spicing that thing out. Like, motherfucker, just like... There's different types of food out there.
We're gonna substitute the clams for just A1 beef from Wagyu. Fucking.
He's like, yeah, I'm gonna make a clam chowder burger, and then he just makes a burger with white sauce on it, and you're like, this is not. Wow.
He solidifies like clam chowder into a puck in like the fucking blast chiller, and just like flash fries it real quick, and puts two.
They're like crunching down, and they're like, this is not that great.
They're like, oh,
Bobby, did you mean to do this? And he's like, this is a textural experience. Yeah, you know what? You know what it's missing? Hold on, hang on. Let me get some adobo on that. Hang on.
This is a regional dish. So I mean,
it's a regional thing that I picked up in New Mexico. Fucking frozen Campbell's soup burger.
I hate Bobby Flay. Oh my god.
God, same.
He was just in Worst Chefs of America, or Worst Cooks of America, which is a show that I like, but I hate Bobby Flay. He has such a smug, fucking dumbass face that I want to punch.
Yeah, he really does have one of those faces that just like, it looks like it belongs on like the guy whose dad owns the ski resort, and he's like, he thinks he's a hot shit skier just because he like grew up on the slopes. He's like, I can do all the things you can't do.
Want to come down to the lodge? I'll have my personal chef whoop up a clam chowder burger.
It's regional, don't you
know? Only people of top caliber know, not like a peasant like you would know. Just fucking I hate Bobby Flay. Like, and his voice too. He's god.
Yeah.
If like he sees something that you cooked that he just doesn't like or understand, he's like, I just don't like that. Like the plating's off and this is wrong. I'm like, how would you fucking know?
Yeah, what do you know about anything? God. And like he had that show
Beat
Bobby Flay, and he lost most of the time.
Yes.
Which, like, to be fair, the concept of the show is so arrogant to start off with. It's like, hey, you know, we're going to pretend like we're a Food Network show actually interested in some chef's regional dish. And then we're going to go in and make Bobby Flay make a better version of it and kick the shit out of him. Which, like, in that show, you always want to root for not Bobby Flay.
Yeah, every time. I'm just like, dude, fuck you, Bobby Flay. I want them to win. And it's such an easy win, too, because the chefs that come on here know how to cook. Fucking, and Bobby Flay.
The thing is, the worst episodes are the ones in which Bobby Flay wins. You're like, wow!
Dude, it sucks so bad. Like, I wish it wasn't just like beat Bobby Flay. I wish it was almost like Iron Chef. It was like beat this chef. Or like, it was like, oh, beat the master chef or whatever. Because there are so many better chefs. They're just, fucking, what's it called? Like, that's what they're doing in Iron Chef Legends, right? And it's real cool.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like, cause I know you just saw the trailer, but in Iron Chef Legends, which is the new Netflix show coming on Netflix, which is going to make me watch Netflix again. You know, you get the competitor, and if they win, then they gotta then compete against all 5 Iron Chefs at once. And if they win, they get a golden knife and become the Iron Chef legend.
Which, like, yeah, the fact, like, they really, I'm proud that they took a page out of anime and they were like, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to go ahead and say there's like a level. We're going to level them up. We're going to power up everyone. Now there's, you heard of Super Saiyan. Now there's Super Saiyan God, right? Like they were like, yeah, Iron Chef. Yeah, anybody could be an Iron Chef. There's fucking like 50 Iron Chefs.
Yeah.
No one's the Iron Chef legend though.
Who will be the Iron Chef legend?
It's fucking some dude named Chris from fucking Kansas. You're like, what?
Oh my god, yeah.
Also, one of the people that's on the show is Curtis Stone, who I'd had no idea who he was, and then I started watching Crime Scene Kitchen, and they were like, this is Curtis Stone. He owns like a bunch of Michelin restaurants. He's an amazing chef. And I was like, okay. So now when I see him on this Iron Chef, I'm like, that's the man from Crime Scene Kitchen. That's all I know him from. I guess I can see him cook now. That's cool.
Awesome. Now I guess I can see him put his fucking money where his mouth is. Like,
God, have you ever watched Crime Scene Kitchen?
Yeah, I saw it with you at your house.
Hell yeah, man! What a good fucking show, Jesus.
I haven't like kept up with it though because like I'm a cooking show elitist. If you fucking, I watch only the finest episodes of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. Just no, I do like Diners, Dive-Ins, and Drive, but shows kind of okay. So Crime Scene Kitchen is fun to watch in a group, I guess, not by yourself. Because if we're gonna talk about cooking shows that I watched, I will watch Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. I watch MasterChef Junior, Cutthroat Kitchen.
Yeah.
There's a new cooking show that came out that I'm not totally a fan of, but we'll see if when season 2 has to offer. But it's called Next Level Chef.
Okay,
so,
I haven't heard it.
Okay, so Next Level Chef is basically like, I think it's like 18, maybe like 15 people, and at the beginning they cook like their best fucking their best plates, right? So whoever ranks best in the plates, well, the top 5 go and they get to cook now for a team on the top level. And then vice versa, then second level, then the bottom level. And the gimmick is every challenge is like, okay, this week we're cooking whatever, like fucking sashimi, or we're gonna do this. And this big, like, square platform will drop, and you have like 20 seconds to grab like whatever ingredients from the platform, and then it'll lower. And then what's left will be on the mid tier, and then the people in the middle are like, oh man, they grabbed a lot of the good meat and the good ingredients, so now we're what's left. And then the bottom tier is like, well, fuck, now we got pigskin or whatever.
Yeah, I've got to do stew meat. Oh, beans.
Yeah, basically,
it's just spam.
So that's like what the show is, and every week after the cook-off, someone will get voted off. And then people will have the ability to like go up in rank. So like if the bottom tier won, then they get to be on the top, and then the other 2 will be like ranked in either mid or low. Also, the cooking, like the knives and the pots and the machines are all like good on the top, and then like you got middle of the line in the middle, and then on the bottom you got like basic fucking dollar store shit, and you have like no blenders or machines.
Nice.
So,
nice. They say, hey, we're gonna toss you some slop. See what you can put together with this hammer.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, I know y'all gotta be cooking on like our cool electric stove, but you gotta make sure the pilot light's on, and you gotta fucking cook in this tin pan that we bought from Walmart. Just
God, yeah. This just reminds me so much of fucking Cutthroat Kitchen.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Where it's just because Cutthroat Kitchen is very similar in that, you know, you have to run into the pantry. You've only got 30 seconds to grab your ingredients, and then afterward you can purchase sabotages. Yeah. Like, oh, we're making sandwiches today, and then you can sabotage someone, take away all their bread, and they have to fish their bread out of this fish tank,
yeah.
Right? Like.
Dude, Cutthroat Kitchen. Okay, so I love Cutthroat Kitchen. But man, the chefs on there piss me off because, like, so first round, first sabotage, they're just like, oh, I don't want to fucking have to dig out my ingredients of this garden that they made, that Alton Brown made. And they're like, $10,000. And everyone's like, what the fuck? And he's like, I don't care if I spend all my money as long as I win. I'm like, what the fuck the point?
Yeah, why are you here? He's like, they gave me some free lunch. I just figured I'd just come and hang out.
I just want the honor to be known as the guy who won Cutthroat Kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy is like hoping to put it on his resume, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to apply to this restaurant, and they're going to be like, what can you cook? Well, just watch this episode of Cutthroat Kitchen. You'll fucking find out.
I brought it on Blu-ray. I always take it with me everywhere. But
I made spaghetti real good.
Dude, these chefs, most of them that come on, they own restaurants, or they're like line cooks, or like they're fucking private chefs. And I'm like, why wouldn't you want to like save your fucking money? Like, the most you would want to bid is like $5,000, and sometimes at the beginning they're just like 10,000, and that's the first sabotage, and there's still two more, and they're like, well, I kind of blew like everything on this one sabotage. And then like if they make it to the second round, then they do it again. They're like $7,000 on this one. And we're like,
yeah, you're like, wow, you haven't learned. Like that's what this is telling me, is you've learned nothing.
When those people come out, I'm like, you better fucking lose. Because like I don't want them to win and be like, I won and I only have like $2,000. I'm like, you fucking waste of an episode. I mean, not like waste, because like I'm not gaining anything from it, but I feel like I'm vicariously living through them, that that I got gypped out of the possible $25,000 that they could have won.
Yeah, you feel like especially if it's someone that you're like kind of rooting for. Yeah. You're like, yeah, I want this guy to win. And even if they're not like being bad with their money, but they're like, oh, I really, my whole dish relies on having this specific kind of bread, so I have to get the sabotage. Shit, here's $8,000, I guess. And then they get to the end, they're like, oh, thank God I won $2,000. Yeah. You're like, 2,000? Damn. Yeah, you had so much more, though.
Yeah, you put yourself through this fucking hell just to walk out with $2,000 and a free trip to fucking, I don't know, what was it, like Los Angeles where they film it?
Yeah. Yeah, they flew you in, they gave you per diem, and then you maybe win.
That's so shitty. Like, and they have to be there for maybe max 5 hours just for you to walk out with $2,000 when you could have just worked at your restaurant normally and made that.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, I mean, it sounds much more fun, you know?
I'm sure it's more of a doing it for fun, but also like, man, like, if you could even walk out with $10,000, that's like, some people are like, oh, this is vacation funds. Like, that's $10,000 that you didn't have to spend on vacation for you and your family. Or like for like something that you're gonna fix in your own kitchen. Like,
yeah, that's not even an air it's not even an air conditioner, bud.
Like, no, like,
I just got a quote. That's not an air conditioner.
That's not even half an air conditioner. Just fucking God damn. But yeah, definitely watch fucking Cutthroat Kitchen. It's so good. Especially when they present their food. Oh my God. Like, like sabotages can be like, oh, you gotta make a fucking grinder. And they're like, okay, well, this sabotage takes away your meats, and now you gotta use like fucking cat food, or fucking, not cat food, but like you gotta use like tuna, or you gotta use like all this meats and cheese that we just put through a grinder, and now you got fucking meat bits. And so like,
yeah, we're gonna replace all of your delicious pork and beef that you got with just tofu. It's just tofu.
Yeah, tofu. And also you can force the other guy to cook with potted meat, or fucking or they're like, oh yeah, me and the crew got hungry, and so we had a bunch of fried chicken. You could pick the bits of fried chicken off of what we didn't eat, and that's your meat. Like, what the fuck? Or you gotta force the other chefs to cook using this blowtorch and a ladle. Yeah.
Oh, that's one of my favorite ones. Or like the simplest one is they said like the sabotage was, they just like duct taped a fucking potato masher to a dude's hand, and that was the whole thing. And my hand got stuck in the fucking oven for 5 minutes. So he's like, shit, I can't get out. So he's like leaning over and like, like moving his pan around to make sure his stuff doesn't burn. Yeah. He can't get out of the oven door. He's like, damn it.
Yeah, and then there's ones like where he's like, yeah, I'm gonna force you to wear this headband and balance this egg, and every time you drop the egg, I take $500 from you. I'm like, what the fuck? But
dude, it's crazy. Like, So I love whenever a show like that like seems to listen to their fans and their audience to be like, oh, you want to get more fucked up? Okay,
yeah.
All right,
dude. That's like peak Japanese fucking daytime television. Mm-hmm. Like Cutthroat Kitchen is what remember we were talking about. We just want fucking wacky ass like TV shows. Cutthroat Kitchen is the epitome of that. They're like, what if we got a bunch of like good chefs and just made fucking shit happen? We made them bid on sabotages for them to cook with just horrible things or have to cook on a stone that they have to heat up.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we're going to put this rock in the oven, and then that's all the heat that you get. So it'll come out at 500 degrees and you got to cook real fucking fast.
And then when they present it, they're like, "Oh, this is my take on whatever I'm cooking. It's an open face fucking sandwich." Like,
yeah, they gotta sell it.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, this is a recipe my grandma used to make. It's a fucking what's it called? When it's like in pieces, or
deconstructed.
Yeah, it's a deconstructed fucking cake." You gotta.
It's like this is just eggs and flour on a plate, sir.
Yeah, but I mean it's a regional dish. Just
fucking like Chef Jet Tila is there, and he's like, I don't know what they made you do, but I will try to eat this.
Dude, I think Jet Tila is my favorite.
Jet Tila is great. Actually, I like he's good on camera.
I like Simon Majumdar, but I fucking
oh yeah, me too.
Because he knows what they did. He always has the air of like I don't give a fuck, and he'll tell you. But like I like both of those chefs. I like the other lady chef, but like Jet and Simon are like way funnier.
Yeah, they're all very good. And like the thing is, Cutthroat Kitchen you watch because you're like, oh, like you don't watch Cutthroat Kitchen to be like, man, that guy makes good food. Like that's what you go to Iron Chef for, right? Like you go to Iron Chef for like, wow, these chefs have like a crazy time crunch and they're like throwing liquid nitrogen on fish and shit. Yeah. You're like, oh man, this is like crazy inventive, and they're like pulling out all the stops. This is oh fuck, they fucked up the whatever. Oh no, crazy. But like Cutthroat Kitchen is like, I don't know. It's basically like wrestling cooking. Like somebody took WWF and was like, let's fucking make this cooking.
Dude, it basically is. Fucking, oh my god, yeah. That's the best description. It's fucking wrestling. It's an improv show cooking.
Yeah.
You get on the stage, you're like, okay, I need a fucking location and a thing. Now cook with it.
Now cook with it.
Dude, yeah, no, that's so good. I fucking love it. I can go on and on talking about it, but we're already at time.
Yeah.
So, since we're at time, we're going to tell you that you can find us on Spotify, iTunes, every podcatcher, YouTube, TikTok, all the stuff. You can find us on all the stuff. I want to tell you that, but man, you're a bitch.
Man,
I'm just kidding. Listen.
You could be following us on all these places, but you playing.
You be playing too much. Ugh. Yeah. You could be hearing us every week, but oh man,
for free. But you're just fucking around.
This is why I didn't want to tell you, honestly. I can't. Oh fuck yeah.
What if that was the end? We didn't even do it.
Yeah, we didn't do it. That's the end.
Man, I don't even want to end the show now. Bye.
That's where it ends. Just I could come up with something fucking funny, but like you would care. Just
edit in the sound of a flip phone closing. Like you give a fuck. Click.
Fucking the sound of a TV turning off.
Yeah.
Just God. Just edit in footsteps and us like slamming a door. Just walking to the hall, close the door.
Oh God.
Fucking. Oh shit. Okay.
Listen, if you're still here, if you're still here, you can follow us in all those places. You can listen to us in all those places. Rate us in all of those places. Give us
5 stars.
Like
thumbs up.
Give us as many. Like, listen, I don't know what all the platform rating systems are. Pick the highest one. If it's thumbs up, give us every thumbs up. If it's stars, give us 10 stars. If you can. Go into the web, like hack into the web page and give us more stars than is possible.
Yeah. And make sure to look for the comment from Go Fuck Jody, or what was her name?
Yeah, it was Joni.
Yeah, Joni.
Good old Joni. Joni, fuck me, check my profile 18.
If you see her in the comments, you know it's a good episode. Fucking.
Yeah. That's our ride or die right there.
That's the top critic of YouTube. Listen, I want you to get all the top chefs and all like the finest cooking ingredients, and I want you to take them to Kitchen Stadium and beat the shit out of Bobby Flay. And then
not even in cooking, not in the competition, just beat him to death with your tools.
Go get him.
Go get him.
God damn it.
I wonder if Bobby Flay's gonna send us a fucking angry email and be like, I think I just make burritos? I'll beat your ass with these burritos.
You wanna actually do an episode of Beat Bobby Flay? Come on, let's do fisticuffs. Fucking, he just sends you a picture of his stupid smug face, rolling his eyes.
Come on down to the mesa table. I'll fucking cook you any day.
You think you're a good chef? Why don't you come on down and have my clam chowder burger and my clam chowder burrito?
I'll make sure it's extra frozen for you so you break your fucking teeth.
Yeah, you fucking degenerate. God, I'd love an angry email from Bobby Flay.
That would make my whole life almost as much as an angry email from Smash Mouth. But like Bobby Flay's a close second.
Hell yeah, fucking Bobby Flay, write us an angry email.
You won't do it. You're scared, pussy.
Ooh, you can't cook for shit, bitch.
Yeah, listen, no one's ever liked you. Every time you're on a show, you're always a disappointment.
Beat Bobby.
Your mom even said so. You know it.
Beat Bobby Flay more like Bobby Flay tries to win.
Bobby Flay tries to display adequate skill. Bobby Flay tries to work at a Whataburger and get by in one shift.
Bobby Flay gets owned. Fuck.
Bobby Flay gets fired from Applebee's.
God. Fucking bye. I can't. I fucking can't. Oh, fuck.